Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
I could, but I just don't feel like it right now.
That's right. We're going to talk about Superman today. Welcome to Geek Trivia.
So a lot of people know about Superman, but most don't really know some of the more in-depth curiosities about him. The character started out when his creators were in high school in Cleveland. Originally, he was a bald, telepathic villain. Later on, he was revamped into a hero, changing his look and powers. Instead of telepathic powers, he was given more physical powers. But still not any of the powers that he is most famous for. In fact, originally he had strength enough to lift a car over his head, was only able to be harmed by exploding artillery fire, and could leap an eighth of a mile. Sounds suspiciously like another hero that came about, only not always angry. Various different mediums wanted him to be able to fly so that he was easier to draw and could go on adventures everywhere. Finally, he could fly, had X-ray, telescopic, microscopic, infrared, and heat-emitting vision powers, as well as breath that could freeze the air. And somewhere in Superman, there's one heck of a storm brewing. Now, his powers were back down in the 80s because it was difficult to find a storyline in which he was actually believably challenged. When you're as powerful as Superman, what is going to stop you? As many of you realize, yes, he's grown in power since then again. Which explains why so many people are not impressed by Superman. Besides his powers, the origin of his powers has changed as well. Originally, his powers were based on technological advancements of Krypton. And then it was explained that Krypton had a much larger gravitational pull, that his bones and muscles and skin were so much stronger than that of a human's. Finally, when more and more powers were piled on, it was decided that if every Kryptonian had access to these powers, they would not have been wiped out by the mere exploding planet. So it was changed to the light, which I assume means the radiation of the sun, going from red to yellow. Now his weakness, which he has to have, is amazingly available to people like Lex Luthor, is of course kryptonite. Irradiated chunks of his home planet. Green kryptonite, which was actually originally red, causes loss of powers, as well as nausea and pain, and at least sometimes can cause death. Other forms of kryptonite include red, which causes bizarre behavioral and transformations, anti-kryptonite, which is harmless to soups, but affects humans in the same fashion as green. X-kryptonite, giving normal humans superhuman abilities. Blue, which has a negative effect on Bizarro. White kills all plant life from any world. Gold has the possibility of permanently removing a Kryptonian's ability to process yellow sun, causing them to lose their powers for good. Silver causes delusions in Kryptonians. Jewel, which amplifies psychic powers of those held in the Phantom Zone. Black can split Kryptonians into two separate entities, one good, one evil. Orange gives super abilities to animals for 24 hours. And pink, which turns Kryptonians into homosexuals, and was certainly not an alternate universe story with an agenda. With all these different versions, did all of Krypton wind up following the Man of Steel to our planet? I mean, seriously, there's all kinds of stuff. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more trivia coming every Monday from Ollamh Productions.